Hello guys, this is Engineer Vakas Ahmed. In this plant shutdown and turnaround management skill-based video, which is 2 hours and 30 minutes long, I'm going to explain you each and everything from very basic level so that all those people who are mechanical engineers, chemical engineers, electrical, electronics or maintenance engineers, some of you people might be waiting for a job, right? And some of you people are waiting for a good job career switch. So this video is going to help you a lot because I have detailed about my 15 years of field experience, that how to make your project scheduling planning in oil and gas industry, maintenance industry, inside refineries, textile mills, cement industry production units, and oil and gas production units as well. Stay till end of this video. So before getting into the detail of this Primavera P6 application, plant shutdown and turnaround enriched knowledge, experience based knowledge, I would request you people to subscribe this channel. And if you get some time, please write down in comment area about your engineering, mechanical, civil, electrical, so that my team can approach you and share some beneficial documents as well. But if you want to become a good plant shutdown planner or scheduler, you need to conquer these three subset skills. What are these three subset skills within plant shutdown planning and control? The first one, you need to understand the inside environment of that factory, that mill, that plant, that refinery. You should understand that what kind of equipment they are using, right? The second most important thing you need to conquer, you need to learn, is maintenance philosophies, the concepts, the varieties, the types, the demand, the purpose of maintenance, right? And the third important thing is application tool. Equipment knowledge and maintenance knowledge is going to help you to understand the data, and Primavera P6 as an application tool is going to gather that data in specific shape, in specific trend, like scope management, schedule management, cost management, and resource management. But before that, I know that all of you people are more interested that after getting or learning this skill set, how we are going to get benefit out of this skill set. Let's start knowing about this fact, that how you are going to get Gulf region based job opportunities. So in Gulf region, you can find multiple companies which are offering such kind of job roles like plant shutdown planner, scheduler. So you can Google it. Dusan, Babcock, then Teleport, Manpower, Total Safety, NES Firecraft, Petrofec, Worley Parsons, KBR, Floor Corporation, Jacobs, McDermott, Saipem, Technip FMC, Wood Group, SNC. So there are many dozens of companies, same like these companies operating. Then at the last bill finger. So many companies out there, you can chat GPT, you can LinkedIn, you can Google it, and you can find many companies. So this is just a footprint I'm sharing with you people, that within these companies you can apply after learning this skill set. So how this skill set oriented are skilled engineers which are like skilled in plant shutdown, they are having advantage over other job careers. So job market and demand, the GCC focus on expanding and maintaining oil and gas infrastructure ensures a steady demand for skilled planning engineers in plant shutdown. Of course, you can see that either you talk about Abu Dhabi, Saudi Arabia, Qatar, Oman, these countries, these regions are continuously expanding their oil and gas industry, their fertilizer industry, their agriculture industry. So every industry, like either it is you can say production industry, they demand a continuous improvement in the maintenance industry. So they will be requiring, so roles such as shutdown scheduler, turnaround planning engineers are regularly advertised, reflecting the ongoing need for the professional with relevant experience. And these are rotation based jobs. Like if you are getting such kind of jobs, these are rotation based, like 2 months job, then 1 month off, such kind of jobs. So salary is very important to discuss with you people. If you are a fresh engineer and you are going to learn this skill set, then you are average with your 1 or 0 years of experience, you are going to get 3,000 to 5,000 dirhams or real per month. And if you're mid-career level engineer, like you having 2 years of experience and you know a little bit of maintenance and you already have worked there as a field specialist in some other role, but after learning this skill set, if you are going to apply for such kind of jobs, you are going to pitch for that job around 5,000 to 10,000 or 8,000 dirhams. And if you are a senior level, like 5 years of experience, right after learning the skill set, you are going to claim like 15,000 to 20,000. But if you are working as a manager, you are going to pitch for 25,000 plus job career, salary per month. So these are the salary insights. So shutdown planning job role, this is very important to understand. Whenever you are going to start your job career, you are going to understand the skill set, but the very important thing you are missing, that how to apply for the jobs, how to fill that job role in my CV. So whenever you are going to witness, observe, or see any job ad advertisement on LinkedIn, on any online job portal, Google, or any Khalij time classified, you can find such kind of job role. So you can see right now there is plant shutdown, these kind of job roles over there. We are seeking, companies going to advertise, we are seeking a skilled plant shutdown planning engineer to oversee the planning, scheduling, and execution of our upcoming plant shutdown. And you can see the most interested important part is key responsibilities. These things you should mention there: shutdown planning, scheduling, resource coordination, progress tracking, risk management, collaboration, safety compliance, qualification, education, yeah, experience, and technical skills, analytical skills. So all these things you should mention in your CV, as long as it concerns to make your CV ATS CV, because such kind of job applications are, I'm just giving you an idea that how this guy is going to work in the field, so that you should have a very clear idea, right? So these are the things they are requiring from you people. I will be explaining all of these things in my this 2 hour based tutorial. So these are the things I can share with you one by one. So that's all as a job role. You can just pause this video and you can get into the detail of all these things what I need to learn, but I will be explaining one by one each and everything. So the first of all, turnaround. Whenever you are working inside, why we call it STO? S stands for shutdown, T stands for turnaround, and O stands for outage. So first I will be explaining about the turnaround terminology. So it is always planned kind of series of activities, a scheduled event wherein an entire process unit of an industrial plant, either it can be refinery, petrochemical plant, fertilizer, power plant, pulp, or paper mill, is taken off stream for certain period for revamp, renewal, or for the maintenance. You can understand it. There is a cement industry, there is a refinery, you need to maintain that machinery, so you need to stop that operation for a certain period of time, maybe 4 weeks, maybe 2 weeks. And when you are working in the plant, there are series of equipments which are interconnected with each other. There are boilers, there are heat exchangers, there are cooling towers. So if something need to be changed, you need to stop that operation, right? So that you can safely conduct maintenance series of activities, right? So this is called turn around phase, right? This is going to be planned, always planned, right? It is not kind of emergency or all of a sudden it is going to happen. It is planned actually. So the second important thing is shutdown. Not always planned, but it can be planned. Shutdown, right? It is 50-50. Turnaround is always planned, but shutdown is not always planned. Simply mean plant, equipment, emergency stop, and mostly is unplanned event are rarely planned, always related to inside process integrity and equipment failure for any reason, including external reasons. Like the same thing, you have to understand that your plant is running, something happen over there, you need to stop your plant. It can be all of a sudden, it can be planned as well. And you need to conduct that maintenance series of activities, and then you have to stop your plant and you have to make repair maintenance to get your plant same at the off stream and then on stream as well, right? You understand? So shutdown mean like that. And the third most important thing is outage. Outage, we understand, we are familiar with this category, with this term, that outage, unplanned events, always, these are always unplanned. causing the operation or equipment to stop. There may be equipment breakdown or disruption of services like utility, electricity, gas, or nitrogen supply, or a pneumatic supply. So anything, something happen like that, which is utility outage. So this is called outage. So these are three major things which we are going to understand as long as it concerns with your refinery maintenance, turnaround, shutdown, or outage. So moving to the next slide. So this slide is going to help you a bigger picture, which as a planning engineer going to help you a lot. And you can see over there one by one the bigger picture, your company, your refinery asset management. This is called your asset management 25 years plan, right? And this is rolling wave planning as well, right? So this is 25 years plan, and every box is divided into 5 years. Like this is 5 years, this is 5 years, this is 5 years, and this is next 5 years. But the most close one you will be taken, and this will be over here, and further it will be broken down into more smaller components. Like this is 1 year, then 1 year, then 1 year, and then 1 year, and then this is 5 years plan, right? This is 25 years plan, this is 5 year. Then taken this 1 year, something like that, and dividing it to quarterly basis, quarter 4, quarter 3, quarter 2, and quarter 1 is 3 months. And then taken this one, like this one, months 2, like this is January and February, and then this January will be divided into the 4 weeks, and then 4 week is going to something like that, week 4, week 3, and then 7 days, and then something like. And you are getting on that point where you need hour to hour execution, hour to hour planning. So that is the shutdown, how shutdown is going to, how they are going to save their assets. Big companies like refineries, how they are going to conduct these operations successfully. The companies which are operating around us in our cities, like they are producing like food, beverages, our textiles, our clothes, every other thing which we require on the basic need for our life is being prepared such kind of industries. And how safely and how continuously they are producing these things, there is something like that behind such kind of production. So such kind of asset management, plant shutdown management is over there. So you should have a clear idea about it. So that is what I need you to understand before you get into the details of plant shutdown. So let's understand what is inside the plant, what is inside the refinery, what is inside that factory. So there are certain departments. You can see that there is process department, there is inspection department, reliability department, operation department, planning department, it is your department, right? And maintenance department, and warehouse department. You need to understand all of these departments one by one. Why? Because it is going to help you, because you are going to start your job career. Maybe a lot of people who are watching right now this video is they belong to fresh engineering, right? So they are not yet joined any industry, so they can have good idea. Some of you people are mid career, but they are not into that much things. Some companies are only keep them busy in the non-productive work, so they don't have such. So that's why I'm sharing all of this information and knowledge. Said before getting into plant shutdown, this is also part and parcel of your skill set. So you should know what is inside in the factory, mill, refinery, whatever. So one by one, what is the process department is actually doing their functions. These people, this department is actually develop, review, shutdown procedure for process equipment, like reactors are there, distillation columns, pipelines. They ensure safe and efficient depressurization, draining, purging, and isolation of systems, provide technical guidance on process limits. Examples, yes, depressurizing a reactor. Whenever you are going to conduct this shutdown, turnaround, or outage, you need to make sure that it should conduct in safe way. For safety, you need to depressurize. In oil and gas, these are high pressure and high temperature jobs, so you need to depressurize. You need zero hydrocarbons inside your tanks, inside your pipeline. So that is why They are going to process engineers determine the correct purge and flow rates. Then shutdown sequence, yes, they are going to help you to understand that with what kind of equipment first need to shut down, and then next one, what kind of utilities are available in which time window, which time slot. These are important things you need to discuss with your process team. So the next, inspection department, they are going to make sure that the equipment is, ready to inspect. It is expired, you need to repair it. So perform inspection and testing, NDT and many other testings. Okay, UV, ultraviolet and all that. Identify areas needing repair. Yes, that's what I told you, that this department is going to make sure that your plant is safe, your equipment is safe, your pipelines are safe, your valves are safe, are not. Because when you are working in such kind of factories, you are dealing with high pressure, you are dealing with high temperature, you are dealing with continuous vibration. So you need to make your equipment, make your gadgets, make your pipelines up to date in the safe zone, right? You have to obey the compliance factors. So this is the inspection team. So examples: pressure vessel inspection, yes. Ultrasonic thickness, weld integrity checks, they need to conduct such kind of job role. Operation department, key role: execute the physical shutdown step, isolating equipment, draining lines, lockout, lotto system, operate control system to bring plant units offline in a safe controlled manner. After maintenance and inspection, recommission equipment and bring the plant back online. Lotto system, lockout, tagout, operation staff isolate pumps, motors, or valves to ensure they cannot be energized during maintenance. Sometime, it happens like somebody is going to do some work. There are many, mishappenings in the history which cause big disasters. Like Alpha Piper, there was a big incident in UK offshore industry, which was done kind of, lotto system was not done at the proper sequence. So that caused a lot of lives disaster, asset disaster. So that is very important. Equipment isolation, yes. So that is the operation department. Planning department, you, me, the people who are going to join this shutdown management as a planning engineer. So these people are going to gather all the data. They are producing the scope management, timelines, resource management, material requirements. They are producing, they are working on Primavera P6, and somehow they are working like this way. See, they are working on Primavera P6, they are producing such kind of schedules. See, something like that. Integrity, with each and every activity, what activity need to be performed at what time, something like that, right? So these are the planning engineers. And then reliability department, so these people are going to make sure that when your company historical performance data to prioritize maintenance and upgrade on high risk of frequently failing equipment, recommendations for reliability improvements, conduct root cause analysis. Examples over here: critical equipment review. Reliability engineers might identify a recurring pump seal failure and propose an upgrade. So every department have its own function. So warehouse, the people who are going to arrange spare parts, materials, gaskets, pipes, fittings, valves, and many other things as well. So if these things are not there, you can't conduct any maintenance, you can't make any repair kind of thing on time. Ensure required spare parts, tools, coordinate deliveries. They are going to manage if something is in shortage, they are going to make procurement procedures to follow on time availability of that item. So that is what as warehouse people are going to do. Just in time deliveries, yes. If I need to make my valve to replace in next 15 days, so valve should be there. So they have to make missing items to be available on time. That is just in time delivery approach. So these are the things these engineers. So then maintenance department, these people are directly working on those things. They are going to conduct, repair, maintain, collaborate with inspection people. They are going to make all these things in safe way. They are going to follow those project schedules which are done by planning engineers. And then examples, they are going to make overhauling, instrumentation calibration, and all that. So now I will share with you that maintenance philosophy, how maintenance task will be generated, how it will be scheduled, how it will be executed, and how the record will be maintained. First of all, they are going to make identification of the task that we need to overhaul any, repair identification or need of the task. Is task needed? They are going to analyze. It is very important. Is there bypass available, right? Specification of task, like what kind of task it is, and then is specification adequate? We are going to identify that one. Planning of task, they are going to plan that one. Then is task planning adequate? Yes, sometime you need to make anything as per your some items don't need any kind of scheduling planning, they can be conducted without planning. Scheduling of task, are dates acceptable? So if you are going to schedule that task, maybe within that time window, utility is not available, maybe something is in the conflict with other departments, you can't run that maintenance. So you need to make sure, you need to make clear that is it acceptable. Execution of task, if it is acceptable, then you are going to conduct execution. Then record as a lesson learned. Our records are sufficient? Is there any lesson learned? You are going to maintain and make it as a OPA, organizational process asset. This is the basic philosophy you are going to follow. And the next is actually gather your work data, generating your work orders, and then collecting those work orders inside your scope management. As a planning engineer, over the years, this is the strategy which I shared with you previous window, that 25 years asset management plan, then 5 years, then 1 year, then 1 quarter, then 1 month. So every other day there are observations, are on the behalf of inspection team, maintenance team, reliability team, warehouse team. You are going to generate all those queries as a work order. Then you are going to gather that data into scope management to plan for your next shutdown, to plan for your next turnaround, right? So how to gather that data, right? I will be sharing one very important flow chart with you people over here, and you can see that how important it is. Here you can see there are different kind of departments, how they are going to interact. This is warehouse, maintenance, planning, operation, reliability, inspection, and process. How these all departments are going to work. First of all, they are going to make like this way. I can make something like, okay, something like that. And you can see this was obtain approved WBS and provide turnaround shut around revision number to all departments, right? So this is coming from, so obtain approved WBS, right? We are going to talk about WBS as well, work breakdown structure. The history behind WBS is to break down your shutdown, your work into smaller and more manageable components. That is called WBS. If you are going to make this turnaround, make it into the pre-turnaround, pre-shutdown, shutdown, and post-shutdown. Then within shutdown, you can divide your execution work into different kind of equipments like your heat exchanger, your reactors, your cooling towers. This breakdown is actually called work breakdown structure. So at this stage, you are observing right now that these arrows, some obtain approved WBS and provide turnaround revision number to all departments. You are going to make something like that. So this is going to like this. To process industry, you are going to say send all planned jobs list to planning section, create defect notification with approved turnaround shutdown revision number. Then this second one to the blue area, inspection team, send all planned job list to planning section and create a defect notification with approved turnaround. The same thing over here for reliability, for operation, and for maintenance as well. Then the further step is these all departments are simultaneously working on this thing, and next milestone will be achieved. Create all turnaround shutdown plan work orders received from other sections with approved turnaround shutdown revision numbers, right? They are going to tag each and everything with revision number, so that from those work orders we can generate very correlating scope of work. Nothing should be missed out, nothing should be left out, right? So the further thing, consolidate all notification and work order list, right? And then the next thing, arrange meeting with all disciplines. When data is gathered, you need to call out all the departments in a meeting, so that if something is not if there is any confusion, we can clarify it. So the next output for this one is this one: after challenging session approved agreed notification and work order list to be published with MOM minutes of meetings to all departments for only confirmation. Then next one, once it's done, it is going to guide us to create work orders of all approved defect notification received from operation, right? Then this is going to lead us review scope provided with approved notification. Actually, this is the process as a planning scheduling engineer. When you are going to join any company, you are going to learn Primavera P6 project planning control, right? So you will be understanding that, okay, I will be knowing Primavera P6, but process is very important thing. Without process, you will be only working there as a project data entry operator. And this is Shutdown. I am going to present you only for the 2 hour based tutorial. For detailed skill oriented training, like in which I am going to deliver 20 hours based training, plant shutdown training, in which Primavera P6 is there, sample projects are there, comprehensive process oriented things are there. So you can join my full training as well, in which by the end of that training you will be awarded a certificate, and you will be also given comprehensive training on the basis of real project, Gulf region based project, right? So I will take you through all the processes, through all the definitions. Even you are a fresh engineer, even you are a mid career level engineer, even you are senior level engineer, you can join it if you're dealing maintenance industry, right? Apart from it, I'm also offering EPC planning like construction management using Primavera P6, delay analysis and claims management as well using Primavera P6. And above link can help you to understand 2 hour based tutorial for EPC planning for oil and gas industry as well. Getting back to the point over here, that how this turnaround flow chart is going to help you people to understand the process. You can see the next process: scope not adequate, then scope adequate. The next process: check spare availability. Once everything is done, I have 25 valves need to be maintained. Inspection department, reliability department, process department, every department has given me like 25 valves are there, this pipeline is there, this equipment. So now I need to make sure it with the spare parts with the warehouse team, that either I have that much equipment or spare parts available at my warehouse, then spare parts not available at stock, spare parts available at stock, create direct change, charge PR, create reservation in work order, and then it is going to help me to make create PR for additional stock, and then it is going to guide me this one, right? And you can see from directly over here, you can create service resource. Yes, you have to not only arranging the spare parts, but also people like welder, like pipe fitter, like carpenter, like electrician, all those people who are directly going to work on that maintenance work. I need to label them as a resource. So that is how this flow chart is going to conducted. And as a project planning control or project scheduling engineer, you can see this one something like this way. See this one. See, this is going to happen like this one. Okay, so that is very important to understand this flow chart. And after that, there is one more important thing you need to understand. This diagram is very, very important. So that is what 1 year strategy I'm going to share with you people, from that asset management from 25 years to 5 years to 1 year. So this is 1 year. Before starting any shutdown, any turnaround, this is very important to understand the cutoff dates, when you are going to make the threshold lines with your departments to synchronize your scope of work. It's very important that which valve was mentioned as a work order. So first thing is, this is the timeline: 12 months before the shutdown, 8 months before the shutdown, 3 months before the shutdown, and when shutdown is going to happen, and after the shutdown, like post shutdown 2 months. So first 12 months before, let's say I have to start shutdown from first or next year in April. So this month, like in March or April, I need to conduct this TA team, turnaround team. preliminary work scope, like higher level information, that what I will be conducting, what is the major criteria, what are the major assets I need to maintain, right? And then preliminary cost estimate, my higher management is going to estimate that preliminary cost estimate. Then after 4 months, after it will take some time like 3 to 4 months, then 8 months before this shutdown, I'm going to make detailed planning. On the basis of this preliminary planning, I will be extending my detailed planning, right? So in this one, develop detailed plan. I will be sharing all of these things. Okay, now we are going to understand about plant shutdown management life cycle, turnaround management life cycle. As a planning engineer, when you are going to step inside this industry, you need to understand along with the other things, like we have different kind of department awareness. Now inside this shutdown, we have different kind of process groups, like I will be explaining one by one. We are having identification process group, in which we are going to identify the scope of work, what kind of work we need to carry out. Then we are going to have planning, right? Within planning, you have already learned about this thing. We will be having preliminary thresholds, cost estimates, resource estimates, scope thresholds, right? And then scheduling, which is detailed or optimized planning. Then executions, we are going to conduct that work program in practical way. After this execution, we will be having closeout phase. We are going to closing all the things, and then review after post shutdown, post turnaround. So review is going to concern with our documentation of lesson learned, which is going to help us or serve us as a guideline for our next maintenance plan, our next shutdown, our turnaround plan. So first of all, as a planning engineer, it is very important to understand, apart from Primavera P6, I will take you people on Primavera P6 as well. But before that, what I feel that you people need to understand the process, inside environment, the documentation, the process steps. This is very important thing. Software is very easy. Understanding process as per industry demand is very mandatory and little bit difficult if you are not that much aware or already not worked in the industry. But I'm making this thing easy for you people. I think you are going to enjoy this piece of information, and I would request that you should must write some comments in the video comment area, so that I can have some motivation and all that. So identification. So identification is going to lead, identify need for maintenance and enter a work request. Okay, as a scope documentation, you got something troubled over your plant, and you are going to document that you need something repair or maintenance. There are two possibilities. Then adequate information, right? If there is a valve, there is a pipeline, there is a machine, there is a heat exchanger, cooling tower, have need some repairing work. Now there are two possibilities. Do you have adequate information about that machine? There are two possibilities, yes or no. So these are the two possibilities. If you have no adequate information right at the moment, obtain adequate information from a requester who have requested you to repair, to conduct maintenance about that equipment, that heat exchanger, that valve. You have to ask that personnel that I need more information about it. So if you have already that adequate information, it is going to lead request for a modification. Like modification, if you need some fabrication over there, if you need modification, changing some pattern and all that in that certain layout, so request for a modification, yes, yeah, they are going to respond you, yes, we need modification, we need to change this pipeline layout, we need to change this position of this pump from this position to another position. So if yes, modification, and no. So if yes, you need modification, then follow management of change process. You can't change anything, or you can't conduct modification without approval. So you need to follow a change process, right? So then emergency work. Okay, so again, there are two possibilities of emergency work. Yes, we need it to be maintained or repaired at the emergency situation. So if it is emergency, yes, you are going to make it on the spot. But if it is like not kind of emergency work, you need to put it into the preliminary planning for the later on shutdown management and turn around management. So this is the complete scenario. I think you should write it once on your board, and you should memorize how people are going to document these kind of things, and this is going to help you a lot when it comes shutdown management or collecting scope of work, identification of scope of work. So this is going to help you a lot. Okay, so now we are going to witness about the certain documentation for adequate information, what kind of template it would be. So here I'm going to share with you people. So you can see there is a picture, there is a plant picture inside. You can see that there are some equipments, right? So adequate information is over here. Create of a service call, asked by, plant, line, function, equipment, types, trade, summary. This is called, adequate information, where this pipeline is located, what kind of line number, right? You can backtrack it easily, right? So that is an example of work order form to help guide input. So you are going to generate work order in future when there is a scheduled maintenance or shutdown management and turnaround. These work orders are going to serve as your collection of scope management, right? What kind of work you need to conduct or you need to add into this turnaround or shutdown management, these all work orders are going to serve as your scope of work, right? So this is an other kind of work order template. You can see requesters section, planning section, craft feedback, a labor requirement part. This warehouse is relevant to this spare parts requirements, special tools requirements, labor. So all these things are, you should document this one as well. So you should also memorize that yes, we are going to work on such kind of templates, right? So this is an example. And then work identification is very important. As noted previously, it is imperative that each work order get assigned a priority. Yes, because some are very emergency oriented, some kind of task can be postponed and can be part of scheduled maintenance later on, the part of our schedule management. So there are priority based system. We are going to number our every identified work with their priority list, like 1 2 3, something like that. So there are four rules. A simple priority system, 1 2 3, you can tag them: one, high priority; two, medium priority; and three, yes, least priority. And then a clear definition of each of the priorities. Yes, like one is least priority or high priority, it should be mentioned there. Then each priority should have a specified time frame for work execution. It's not like that emergency means on spot. It means right now you have to start to work on that equipment, right? If it is like medium priority, you need maybe next 7 days, right? So if it is least priority, maybe next 15 days it will take. So everybody should be on the same page, that if it is least priority, how many days it will take, for maintenance, so that they can align their schedule with the work going on. Managers must apply rigor and discipline with the use of priorities. Okay, so this is the template. The one is the high risk, on spot you need to make that maintenance. The second one, day one, right? It will the first priority, immediate. Second, the medium priority is taking 1 day to 1 week, and the third priority, which is least one, is going to take 1 week and over, right? So these are the priority things which are going to be labeled with your identification of work. What kind of, it will help us to make our priority list. This is very important when you come across plant shutdown and turnaround management. So memorize it as well. This is going to help you a lot in job interviews. They are going to ask you maximum things from these process oriented things and very less things from project scheduling and Primavera P6. Because if you know these processes, this is going to witness them that okay, this guy has already worked in scheduling, in plant shutdown management, right? So the next slide is a very important thing to understand as well. This is actually prioritization matrix, probability and impact. You can see that there are different kind of combinations. Here you can see high risk, HSE, high risk; production, high risk; HSE medium risk, production low risk. So you can see there are different kind of colors, probability greater than 10 20%, then this one. All the red color things are do it now. You can understand it, right? This is low risk, normal, and this is going to be the part of shutdown, right? So all these things, red color, you can see that asset criticality, right? Codes are there. So this is one high risk at the spot. Okay, high risk, production high risk. Okay, this one. So all red colors are do it now. Yellow, complete, this is the second priority. The third one, more than complete within 20 days. Okay, these all things within 20 days. Green one, 40 days, more than 1 month. And fifth one is going to be part of your turnaround or scheduled maintenance, right? So that is how your company is going to tag out your any kind of identification of work with the red color and all that. Okay, that is what you need to understand. These things are going to help you out as long as it concerns with your templates, preparing your document. Understanding is the most important thing over here. Okay, so apart from it, work identification, it is sometimes required for the planner to go to the job site with the requester in order to validate the scope of certain request. A plant visit is a very important thing. This activity with the requester will allow the planner to confirm the is the work really necessary? Can we do this differently? Are there other alternatives? Do we repair or replace? How could this work potentially affect operations? And these kind of information as a planning engineer you need to collect from the personal visit from the plant. So now we have this planning work, right? So we will be understanding the whole process of this planning. After identification, adequate information, priority list, risk and probability impact diagram, the plant visit, all these things you should add in your notebook when you are preparing your notes. This is very important. I always suggest in my paid sessions when I'm going to deliver this plant shutdown training to my students, you can also enroll in my full paid training. And I suggest people don't only depend on the videos. You have to make your own notes, your own planning diary, shutdown or turn around diary along with this training. So you can also enroll in my complete plant shutdown and turn around management using Primavera P6 with sample projects. And this is going to be like 20 hours base training, right? So I hope you are enjoying right now. So second process I'm going to help you people over here is planning. Shutdown planning, planner codes the work order in planning. They are going to make WBS codes from work orders, right? Then from here they are going to see engineering required. Maybe they need design. Engineering mean design. They need to make it the design for that specific work, right? So there are two possibilities. Yes, we need design for that, and no, we don't need any kind of design. So if we need design, drawings are ready, specifications are ready, and then we are going to meet up at the same point. And here we are, a standard job exists. Either I need this pump to replace by another pump, I need a drawing or not. Okay, that's done. But to do this work, do I need any specific standard to follow, right? I need a specific crane, I need a qualified rigger over there, I need a qualified welder over there. I need to follow that company standards, right? So a standard job exists or not? No. So yes. Okay, there are two possibilities. If no standard job required on plant, I can't make any shortcut to put all personnel's life on risk, assets on risk, right? So I need that standard job on page. So create a new standard job and estimate. I have to make that standard job, consult with your senior management and all that, and then modify existing job plan and estimate. Then from here, parts and material required. Of course you are going to conduct a maintenance job, so you need to calculate that how many spare parts you need to conduct that maintenance successfully, right? How many gaskets, how many fittings, nozzles, piping, valves, right, pumps you require. So parts and material required. So yes, we need that one to be calculated, and then it is going to help me out. No, I don't need any kind of spare parts. But leading towards this, yes, you can see planner does a requisition for parts and code work order as waiting for parts. As a planning engineer, you have already generated those WBS codes. Label those WBS codes and request, I need these much, you can see that gaskets, fittings, needles, needle valves, right? Pressure gauges, anything you require. So which help warehouse team to identify or backtrack from that WBS code, right? So that is what parts are shipped, right? Parts are shipped and the drop point specified by the planner. Okay, and then the next, the person responsible for the drop zone receives material and prepare the kitting for each work order. And then all material received, okay, it's a question mark. No, again, you are going to rewire this process. Yes, there is a second probability. And then all material received and kitted with required documentation, right? You are going to approve with the documentation and all that with vendor and supplier generated invoices. So then it is going to meet up another same point. Planner enters planned start date and codes work order as ready to schedule. And then this is going to be into the detailed planning and scheduling. So I hope this process has helped you a lot to understand after identification this planning, how it will lead from all this process in very easy way. You should document it once on your notebook that how this process will get along, and then you will enter into detailed planning or scheduling. So now I will take you on Primavera P6. This is Primavera P6 dashboard. You can see a detailed project plan, but this is oil and gas EPC or construction management oriented project. Right now we are working on shutdown management or turnaround management. And if you are civil engineer, electrical, mechanical, chemical engineer, and you are also part of greenfield projects or project management, you can also go now and click the link given above right now on this video and start watching my EPC planning 2 hour based tutorial, and which is going to help you a lot to understand construction management using Primavera P6 implementation. And getting back to our schedule management, because right now we are into another phase, operation management or shutdown management, right? So this is Primavera P6 dashboard, and if I will get a short tour to Primavera P6, here you can see that this is your bar chart area where you can find this is timeline, this is your activity table, this is your different kind of commands and features through which you are going to learn that how to take external data into Primavera P6. And we are going to start a new project, not project, schedule management plan we are going to compile after understanding all of these processes. So as of now, I'm going to pinpoint a very important tip over here. Whenever you are going to start your work from any company as a scheduler or planner in shutdown management or in turnaround management, it is very important to understand before getting on Primavera P6 the process understanding, the documentation understanding, right? It is going to help you to pass your job interview as well, right? Keeping all those things in your mind, I'm getting on this Primavera P6 dashboard right now. So first of all, we have to create a new file. So I'm going to click on file. I need to create a new file. So as long as I'm going to click on this new, it will help me to get this window, select EPS. Whenever on Primavera P6 we are supposed to create a new project file, we will be given this option. We have to choose a department because Primavera P6 is allowing us to place our project files into different kind of categorized folders, or you can see different kind of departments. EPS means enterprise project structure. So here I'm going to click three dotted area, and we can see that there is big diversity. Not everybody is going to have this one. This is also customizable, right? So I have myself generated all of this. You can also do it by yourself. I will be guiding you. So at very basic level, I'm creating a project file. I can make over here like in student training, and I will click this one, or you can go anywhere, see. So just click next your project, like you can see that my turnaround management package 56, And here you can write turnaround. This is only at the creation of 56, right? Next, when it is going to start, just this is already should you have to understand by that different kind of stages of turnaround: 12 months, 8 months, 3 months before. You will be understanding all of these things, that when our schedule uh, for plant shutdown is going to start, execution work is going to start, to set that certain date you are going to add over here. So let's say it is from today is 17th of March. After 1 year, I'm going to add that one date, the way I have explained already, 17th March 2026, because a lot of work we have to do. After 8 months, there are more requests are coming than before starting this shutdown. 3 months before, then more things we have to filter out, right? So I'm going to put it over here, 17th March 26, right? Finish date, you can put it over here because it is going to be 1 month. But whenever you are going to work on Primavera P6, there is a mindset and there is a methodology to create a critical path method. If you are going to put any finish date over here, so Primavera P6 give you multiple critical paths. But if you are going to finalize your finish date after loading your data, then you can have only one critical path method. So there is kind of understanding you need to develop. So I'm not giving any finish date right now. Next, no need to make any responsible manager. We can later on come back and we can assign later on. Standard rate, keep it as it is. Congratulations, you have made a new project file. And now I will go into file again, click on this open, and this time, just wait a moment, this time I'm going to just here I have turned around this one, open, and new file has been created. Now this new file, you have to understand all, recall your memory whatever I have taught you till now, that identification of works, all that data has been gathered, and I will be sharing that template with you people, right? So here we are having our Excel sheet. So you can see that this is kind of heat exchanger, and you have gathered all of that data. You have you will be dividing your shutdown or turn around into three categories: pre turnaround, turn around, and post turn around. Every schedule, maintenance, shutdown, turnaround is going to be divided into three categories, and this is called your WBS, work breakdown structure. The definition of work breakdown structure means you are going to divide your project into sub components so that you can easily manage and plan and track your work, right? So we are going to divide on the higher level this turnaround or your shutdown into three categories: pre shutdown or pre turnaround. It means the work we require to carry out before starting this shutdown, kind of scaffolding, removal of insulation, tagging of blinds, shifting of tools, preparation of temperature gaskets. Then during shutdown, for this heat exchanger, you need all of these things to carry out, right? All these work orders will become your scope management, and this all was done by the collaboration of different kind of departments: process, reliability, warehouse operations, maintenance, planning, and all those departments, right? So you have gathered this much data. And post shutdown reinstallation, and I have make this with further WBS division, that pre-shutdown will be further divided into these three categories: pre-management, HSE, logistic. Then turnaround will be further divided into these categories: preparation, access and disassembly, inspection, repair, reassembly, final testing and commissioning. And post shutdown is startup and verification, documentation. So I'm going to create our project WBS over here, right? So for that, you have to click on this project, click on this WBS, and the other window will open up. And within this window, because now remember that the first thing is scope management. This is very important to understand. When you are going to carry out your schedule management, after understanding all of these processes, your project management implementation, like your scope management, your time management, your cost management, resource management, procurement management, will be same as EPC planning. all of the framework will be changed or tailored, right, as per the situation, as per the industry requirement, but things will be same. Like first of all, you are going to gather all the work data and going to load into Primavera P6, but WBS will be followed the same way we are following in EPC planning or construction management. So here I have already opened this WBS window, and I will be just right click over here and click on this add button, and here pre shutdown or pre turnaround. So here I'm going to pre shutdown or turnaround. Both terminologies you can write, doesn't matter. I will write here turnaround, right? Because turn around, and again click on this one, add turnaround execution phase. Okay, and then click on this add button again, and the third would be the same thing. In EPC planning we were supposed to add engineering, procurement and construction. Here pre turnaround, turnaround and post turnaround. Post turnaround. Okay, so as soon as you are going to create three major headings, you have divided your complete turnaround package 56. You can write here your plant name, you can write here your shutdown or turnaround number. And as soon as you are going to create it, this is called this higher level WBS or control account, right? And I will switch into the activities, and I can find that created WBS will be represented in this way over here, right? So that is the first thing, you understand. So this is actually activities window. This is your WBS window. Within WBS window, you are going to create your project higher level information, that what you are going to do. You are going to divide your project into different kind of categories one by one. So now I'm going to divide our level 1 WBS into level 2. So for that, I have to click on that pre-turn around into like this way, and I have to add over here. I have already shared with you that how did I gather that data in my Excel sheet. You can see that my pre-shutdown or pre-turn around is already compiled, like documentation, HSE, procurement, logistics and plant isolation. So I'm going to add all these as WBS. So here I will be like documentation. Okay, again I will be adding, and here I will be sharing with you the same document. After documentation, there is second important thing is you can see HSE, and I will be adding up over here HSE. Under that, there will be permit to work, and then add procurement and logistics, and then plant isolation or LOTO system. Plant isolation. Okay. So that is how I have added level 2 WBS. And the same way I have added, I will be sharing the same document in which the detailed WBS level like preparation and shutdown, access and assembly, under that scaffolding erection, removal of cover heads, detubing, cleaning shell side, inspection. Every industry have its own kind of maintenance work, which is comprised of scope management, right? Might be possible you are working on fertilizer, you are working on cement industry, textile industry. So your equipment, your machinery is different to that this project. So you have to follow the process, like how WBS will be compiled on your certain project or shutdown. So it doesn't matter as long as you are right now learning shutdown procedure. So every shutdown will be compiled into three stages: pre-shutdown or pre-turnaround, then shutdown, and then post-shutdown. Your plant shutdown team or turnaround team are taking a lot of time, near about 1 year before starting this shutdown or turnaround. So that much time they are going to take, and they are going to refine their data, work orders, whatever I have shared with you, the identification work, flow chart. So it is going to take a lot of time. So you have plenty of time to gather that data through different kind of filters. You are going to take decisions that what kind of specific scope of work need to be added in that coming up scheduled maintenance or shutdown, right? So everything will be added as WBS first, and then you will be defining this way. You can see I have already done it, and you can see that all these WBS, like you can see access and disassembly, inspection, and if I can get into activities window, you can find all of these things created like the way I have just I'm showing you right now, right? So this is your WBS level. But before getting into the detail, the next level, your scope management is the process which is going to help you to create your WBS. Your management team approval of this WBS is coming from operation, maintenance, procurement, warehouse, planning. All these departments are going to work together, and then they are going to initiate your scope of work. That scope of work is getting through different kind of meetings, and then finally you are going to prepare one template which is called shutdown WBS. That's what you can see right now on your screen. But before heading ahead, I will be sharing that what kind of information you need to settle at this level on project in Primavera P6 on project level. So I will get into the enterprises, and first I will click on this project. And within this project you can see that there are different kind of projects. I will scroll down and I will just get on that certain project. Right now you can see that this is my project, okay, and I have to settle, I have to understand that while I'm working on Primavera P6, what kind of these settings are there and how to settle them, right? So first of all, there is a journal. So in general, your project ID, your project name, your responsible manager. Once I will be sharing with you OBS organizational breakdown structure, which we can settle under this tab, and EPS under this tab. We can specify our responsible managers over here as well. Checked out status, checked out by, and all these things like project website URL and the calendar, what kind of calendar we are going to follow. Then notebook, important notes we can incorporate, budget log, how on the higher level this project is going to follow project funding requirements. Spending plan is also there. You can add budget summary, dates, when our project is going to start, when it is going to end up. While creating our project file, we have already done this step. Funding, like funding sources, if we are going to make those notes, important notes, so we can add those funding resources. Codes, our project codes, right? First we have to create our codes. I will be sharing that tip and trick as well. Defaults, under this you have to settle the important duration types. Duration types are going to play a very important role when you are going to define your man hours and your duration integrity, right? Your resource allocation level 5 planning. So there you are going to define one of these duration types, that what kind of duration type you are going to set up behind that duration conclusion. Percent complete type is important for your project tracking, so it can be settled later on as well, but yes, it is given over here. Then your activity types, there are different kind of activity types. Still we have to develop activities, but there are milestones, right? You can see there are level of effort activities like supporting activities, consultant activities, right, which are not directly involved on your project, but these activities are called level of effort. Resource dependent activities and task dependent activities are major activities we need to add in our shutdown management. Task dependent, by default every activity you are going to add in your project is called task dependent, which is going to follow your global calendar, which is going to follow the task or amount of work. But resource dependent activity is actually following the resource availability. It is not following global calendar which we are going to allocate. So we are going to call it resource dependent activity. It is different from task dependent activity. I will be sharing each and everything, don't worry. WBS summary activity is same like WBS, but I hope right now that's this time level we are learning Primavera P6 is not yet arrived, that you should understand these things very easily. I will be explaining, don't worry. But I'm explaining at project level. You can make your settings as per your requirement, but at this level you should put it task dependent. Then cost accounts, and then resources, yes, standard rate settings, There are multiple things are given over here. Longest path, this is the major thing we are going to compile in our project schedule, critical path method. So there are two important concepts. If we are going to define our project finish date, we need to check box longest path. And if we are making open our project finish date, and then we are going to make like compress our project as per our required finish date, then we should click on the first option, right? And then calculations, yes, you can see that activity percent complete based on activity steps. Okay, link budget and add completion, so you can make like this one, right? Uncheck it, then recalculate actual units and cost when, so this one, okay, link actual to date, and okay, that's fine, keep it as it is. Then user defined fields, like whatever is not included in Primavera P6 and you want to add in over here, so you can add those things by yourself. I will be explaining that one as well. So here we are done with our project basic settings, and then I will get back to WBS. Before WBS, I need to explain two important things. The first thing, enterprise project structure. This is your organizational structure, that you are going to make different kind of departments, and then you are going to give access to different kind of engineers. So once you are going to click on enterprise, under that one you can find here enterprise project structure. Click on this add button, and you can add anything like turnaround, something like that. You can see ta, here you can see turnaround projects, the full name, right? Turnaround, and just it is added over here. Once I'm going to click again, you can find over here something like that. Now you can put any project inside it. But one more thing, there is a responsible manager, right? So this turnaround, I can give responsibility. I can give any planning engineer while using Primavera P6 access password. So any tag, right, which is relevant, which is responsible, which is accountable for that certain project under this area, right? But from where I can fix this window, I know that under this EPS, I will be assigning something like that from here, right? PM, something like that. I can write here name, Bob, John, Matthew, Hassan, Ahmed, Rajesh, any name I can write there, right? But that's understandable. But from enterprises, you can see over here OBS. Those names can be managed over here. So I'm just clicking this display, and I can just make it over here something like that. Just wait a moment. Filter by all OBS, something like that. Okay. You can add any project manager, add button, and name it. Like I need Mr. Rajesh over here, and I want this guy to be responsible for my this newly started project, right? So here is enterprises project structure. So here is Rajesh, and Rajesh is responsible. So this is basic setting I need to learn before starting any plant shutdown. So next, we are going to make our basic settings. If I can click over here under admin, you can find here different kind of things under admin category, admin preferences. You can find the general. Here you can see that there are, how your calendar should be started from which day. If I will be clicking over here Monday, Wednesday, Thursday. So my week pattern will be starting from that certain day, right? So default duration should be 4 days, five. A lot of people are going to ask me when I'm conducting a training session. There are very beginners, that very beginning level people as well. So they ask me, sir, your Primavera P6 is showing 4 days, our showing is 5 days, why? So you can make your as mine by clicking over here, but it doesn't matter, right? So the data limit in OBS, EPS, how many letters, words you are going to incorporate over there. Time periods in your calendar, it's over here. But once I'm going get into the calendar settings, I will be explaining this one as well, right? Then time period, okay. Earned value, yes, earned value management systems, so keep it as it is because we have not learned about anything, but this is by default setting, okay. So I will get back again on this window and I will let you know that how to do this one. Estimate to complete. There are different kind of progress calculation things. Use WBS milestone, activity percent complete. 0 by 100% completes. One activity is started, it will be 0%. Even it is 50%, it will be 0%. But once it is done, it will be taken as 100% completed, right? Use WBS milestones. You are using WBS to calculate your project progress. 50% complete. The same thing. If activity started, it will be taken as 50% is completed. But once it is completing, like finished, it is labeled as 100% completed. Custom complete, the way we are going to make it customizable, 27%. Whatever it is done, actually we are going to make it on the board. So activity percent complete is the priority. We are going to calculate our progress like that way. So this is estimate to complete. Productivity factor is 1, productivity factor 1 by CPI, cost performance index. So this is mostly, this thing is relevant to earned value management analysis. So keep it as it is. Reports, once you are going to publish your reports, this thing is going to happen. Your options, rate types, your industry. Right now we are working in maintenance industry. You can click on utilities and oil and gas, and then that's it, right? Understand? So again, I'm going to click on admin and then admin categories. You can find here baseline types. We have to understand when we are working in our planning phase, we are planning our shutdown. That phase is called baseline document preparation phase, right? So there are different kind of documents we are going to plan. Initial planning baseline, when there is very higher level planning. Custom sign off baseline, right? Management sign off baseline, mid project status baseline. There are different kind of planning stages. So that is what we have to understand. Expense categories, WBS categories, then document status, risk categories, notebook type, topics, and unit of measure. The most important thing, anything which is consumable, which is material, like your gaskets, your steel, your piping, your valves, your needle valves, anything, so that need to be measured in terms of units specified to that specific material. Like I can say that my 100 ton of steel, my 5 packages of fittings, right? So that 5 package, that 1 ton of steel is unit of measurement, right? So I have to add all of those unit of measurement from my BOM, bill of material. I have to add those bill of material units from that document over here, so that later on when I'm going to cost those material spare parts, I should have those units, right? And then the third category is currencies, right? I will be clicking on these currencies, and you can find here international currencies already existing. But in case if you can't find any currency relevant to your country or in which your project is being costed, you can click on this add button. One same line will be added over here, and you can make Omani dinar, you can make Qatari riyal, you make Saudi Arabian, Indian rupees, and something like that. Okay, it's very easy to go, right? And then we have one more thing under enterprises. You can find here calendars. Under calendars, you can find there are three different kind of calendars: global, resource, and project. And right now global is for all of your project. You have 100 projects in Primavera P6. If you are going to create any calendar under global tag, that calendar will be eligible to allocate any kind of, or it will be there will be a permission or chance of flexibility to assign that calendar to any project. So resource calendar again is only available for the resources. Global calendar is for activities, resource calendar for resources, and project calendar is specific for the certain projects, not available for all the projects. So global, I will be, modification is the same. I have to click on this add button. One calendar will be added. So any calendar for your condition, maybe you have limited number of calendars, so you need to click on add button. One calendar will be added over here, something like that. So you need to just make something like that. Checkbox it. Once it is selected, modify. Modification is going to help you to modify option is going to help you to change that calendar pattern as per your shutdown. Maybe you can see right now that there are two options on the top head: total works hour per day and detail work hours per day. So when I am on the total work hours per day, it is showing me something like that. But once I'm going to switch it to this one, you can see the difference, the pattern, right? So if I'm over here and I'm going to click work week, you can find that maybe Monday in my shutdown, I'm going to work for 24 hours, Tuesday 24 hours, Wednesday 24 hours, and Thursday 24 hours. Every day our shutdown is going on 24 hours, 24. For the sake of example, I will be just making Sunday 0. Okay, it looks like this one. Again, work week, and here 24. Sunday is also working day, so it will look like this one, right? You understand what I mean? So in shutdown, usually there are no off days. So you can make like this one, and detail work hours per day, everything something like that. And if in case you have a break or shift change or any 1 hour, right? So you can make something, all of your days. If I can click work week, you can select all of these one, and this you can see this 13 non-work, this 1 hour is break, or something like that. Okay, something. Okay, see, and that's how you are going to optimize your week pattern. That is how you can modify your calendar as per your requirements. This is your global calendar, how to make settings. It's very easy, right? So this is our WBS, and after this WBS, I'm going to share with you our activities. These are the important three major windows. The project is higher level window. This project level is actually having 100 of project files, and your project is one of those files. And when I'm going to switch to WBS, that one project file having different kind of phases, that one project having pre-shutdown, shutdown, and post-shutdown, then pre-shutdown having different kind of WBS. So here I'm going to share with you, when we talk about WBS, there are different kind of WBS. There is, you can say that the top level WBS is called control account, right? In this case, we have three top level WBS: pre-shutdown, shutdown, and post-shutdown. Then you have the lowest level of WBS, which can't be further divided, which is something like deadlock. I will be sharing, that is called work package. The top level control account, the lowest level is work package. The hanging one, the in between work packages, WBS is called planning package. And under work package, we are going to, this is our actually usually scheduling template. So under work package, we are going to add activities. Activity is our shutdown, the lowest project or shutdown level. At this level, we are going to calculate how much work we have to do, right? At this activity level, we are going to identify how much work we have to do, how much cost we have to incur to execute that work, how many people are, what is the team, or welder, electrician, helpers, rigger, crane, how many people, what is the crew which is required to execute this work successfully. Then logic mean relationships, how we are going to make the dependency model. Before this task, what kind of task we need to perform, right? And after this task, which one is the next one, right? Which is depending on this certain task. The work is there, cost is there, team is there, and logic is there. So this level is called activity level. You understand? So this is our WBS level. Here we are going to describe our project major milestones, are different stages, are phases, right? What we are supposed to conduct, we have to do on site area. Within activities, I'm sharing with you, this window is going to help you that under this window, let me share with you into this document. Let's say this is your, the first one, review and finalize scope of work, right? Resource planning. I will be sharing here documentation. Let's say our important information, I will be adding one by one. uh, Add this one like this way, right? Documentation, HSE. no, HSE is another word, documentation. You can see that if you need any kind of feedback or drawings and all that, right? Engineering document, engineering approvals, something like that. Okay, you are going to add your activities like this way, like this way, like this way. And this area I'm going to settle time scale, apply. As soon as you are going to add activities over here, you will find something good, that the relevant duration equivalent bars will be added over here. If I'm going to make it 10, you can see that it is going to make like this way, see. So 4, okay. So that is how I'm going to just make it. And if I will share my full fledged, which I have already developed the one, and you can see that all the activities are added over here, see. All the activities, see, this documentation, review, obtain work, resource approval, these are the important documentations I will be guiding you. I just added these activities. The first you have to concentrate on this one. I have just added by clicking this add button, and I just copy paste, because this scope of work was already gathered or managed by my team over the period of last 12 months. When my project shutdown planning was started, it was higher level planning, then detailed planning, then now I'm doing optimized planning, because I'm going to put logic, and I'm going to break down my project or shutdown into very smallest level, activity level, where I will be finding that how much work I have to do, what kind of people are going to do this work, what is the cost estimate, and what is the logic. So I have added all those things. I will be sharing this file with you people. In the comment area, you please mention project planning control using Primavera P6 shutdown. I will be My team is going to approach you, and they will be providing you this XZR and many other productive XZR Primavera P6 files. So don't forget to write their project planning control using Primavera P6 shutdown management, right? So you don't miss this golden opportunity. And one more thing, here might be possible, I am just giving you an overview, just keeping this thing in my mind, that a lot of people, engineers out there, who have been working as a low level jobs, even despite of having engineering degree, they can become scheduler, they can become planning engineer, and they can earn very good money in Gulf region, in other countries as well, where scheduler planner having high optimized job careers and high salaries, of course. So they can also enroll in my 20 hours based full training, in which I will be guiding them from very scratch level to the higher level, and they will be feeling like an independent planning engineer. And I will be helping them to pass job interviews as well. I will be providing them templates, sample projects, and case studies as well. So this is very you can say that self-paced, as well as live sessions are also available. You can contact with my team. The details are given in the this video description area, and you can start learning this course, this training with fully you can say that optimized way, right? So getting back to the things over here. So these are the major activities: documentation and HSE. These are important things which we require before starting any shutdown. This is documentation, right? Cost approval is required, resource approval, PTW, permit to work, finalize your this document. Then HSE, risk assessment. What kind of risk can come across our this shutdown? Job safety analysis, documentation. Emergency response plan B is there. Then you can see that procurement, your spare parts, material ordering, your rental equipment, cranes, something like that, your mobilization, everything should be there. Then your plant isolation. Before you are starting your shutdown, you need to isolate your plant. You need to conduct lotto system, where you are going to lock out, tag out your this is going to eliminate maximum risk. It happened in the past, that over the Alpha Piper rig, where a pump was under maintenance, but nobody has tag it out, and due to this near miss, it caused many lives, many assets to drown in the sea, and they caused it to burn entirely. So we need to take care of when it is maintenance work. This is very important thing, depressurizing. Then uh, zero hydrocarbons should be there, because many lines are carrying high pressure and high temperature. So we need to depressurize, make sure that no hydrocarbons are there. If it comes to refinery or processing units or oil and gas production units, then turn around, right? Access and disassembly, right? This is the scope of work. Along with that, you can see that we have divided our WBS turnaround into first this one, then inspection, then repair, then reassembly, and then restart up, right? So you can see that uh, like this way. Final testing and commissioning, and post turn around, start and verification, documentation. Once I'm going to add all this data over here, so now I'm going to share with you more settings which you need to have on Primavera P6 dashboard. The first one is columns, because these columns are going to make our dashboard informative. So how to do this one, I will be sharing Primavera P6 dashboard right now over here. So you can see that we have certain kind of dashboard. We have a column like activity ID, activity name, budgeted total cost, BL1 start and BL1 finish. So what does mean by these columns, and how much more variety we have in this regard? So if I'm going to customize this, activity ID is unique, which is representing every certain activity over here. Activity name is the description, what we are supposed to do. This is about the cost. And BL1 baseline. Baseline means planning phase. Within planning phase, whatever we are going to estimate our time slot window, that within this time line, within this week, within these specific dates, we are supposed to conduct this work. So that is actually these columns are showing that specific data. So might be possible if you are doing your project scheduling or shutdown scheduling on Primavera P6, you might not have the same options of columns as right now I have. So how to do this one? We need to get inside the columns option. I will click on view, and within this option you can find columns. And here you can see that there are multiple options over here. On your left side area, activities tabs, you have cost oriented multiple options, you have dates oriented multiple options, you have durations, you have earned value management, feedback, journal, list, multiple float paths, number of activities, percent completes. And you can get inside. Once you are going to install Primavera P6, you are going to set up your basic settings. You are loading scope. After that, you can set these things as well. So I need at this moment original duration. Anything you want, this side to this side, just click that certain date. At this moment, I don't need any total cost, so I will just click that certain option column, and I will move it to this side area, right? And it will get fit inside its respective category, right? So I need original duration, right? So I will be clicking over here duration column, and you can see that there is original duration, and I will move with the help of this arrow, apply, and you can see that I will get the certain all columns which I have defined, right? So don't worry why there is 15 days, 2 days, 4 days. I have already settled the customization, how much time it is required. I will be explaining the philosophy, duration estimate, exactly what methodology we need to learn about that. So don't worry about that, don't make yourself confused. I have already done it actually. For now, I just included this original duration to make you understand how to settle columns and how to change their sequence and all that, right? So that is how you can customize your columns. We have bigger variety once we are going to done. This is our basic layout, right? So I need to save this dashboard as a basic layout. So for that reason, this is going to be called Primavera P6 template or layout. I will click on view layout. There are two options given to me, open layout, but not this time. I will go for save layout as, because I want to save this layout as basic, classic, any name you can, as per your preference, right? So I will click on save. It will be saved automatically. In my situation, I have already saved it. And again, I'm getting into the layout, and you can see open layout, no. And you can see that there are two categories of this window. Once you are going to open your layouts global, this global are Primavera P6 defined. There are different kind of information, different kind of, you can say, columns given the specific information about that thing, right? whereas user admin are the customized ones, which you can uh, customize, which you can uh, detail about your as per your requirement. Right, in basic I have the simple information: activity id, activity name, start, finish, original duration. Earlier I have critical path method. This is one of the very important layout. I have added early start, early finish, late start, late finish. I have cost oriented as well. You can see cbs, cost breakdown structure. You can see that if I can apply, I have different kind of columns. I hope you can understand. If you need such kind of layout, you need to add all these columns: budgeted labor cost, budgeted material cost, budgeted non-labor cost, expense cost, and total cost. Right, so I can switch anytime my project manager need. Once my project schedule or my shutdown schedule is done, I need some certain kind of information, I can switch these things. Very wonderful feature of Primavera P6. And also, please give me feedback in comment area how Primavera P6 is going to easy your work, right? So right now I'm going to make open layout and I'm going to switch it to the basic ones, apply, and you can see that here I have the same basic layout, right? Okay, so that is how you can settle your columns and you can work on your layouts. Right, layout is very important feature. You have to add different kind of columns in you need cost, you need the critical path method, you need many other things once you are done with different kind of learning tools in Primavera P6. So columns and layout is very important feature. User define, few columns are generated by Primavera P6. They are formula oriented. You don't need to put anything. Just I will give you an example that this is duration given over here. And in shutdown management, what will happen? I will go get into edit, user preferences, and I will just convert my duration into hours in very quick way. See, it means this column was with the formula with complete backup. These columns are complete with the backup formulas, like when this activity is going to start. Everything you will observe by yourself. But the columns which are not given already in Primavera P6 and I require them, like you can see right now inside the view, you can get into columns and you can see all of these columns: activity codes, activity steps, cost, dates, duration, earned value. Everything is sorted, is formula oriented. But user defined, this is user oriented. Like if I need, there is no column given in Primavera P6, but I want to add. So what I need to do, I have to add. So that category feature is called user defined. User, me, you, anyone who's using Primavera P6, that guy is going to define that specific column on the basis of the requirement or whatever you can say. Right now I can show you how to do this one. Enterprises, user defined fields. You can add different kind of columns: activities, activity resource assignments, issues, resources. But right now I need one column for activities. I can click on this add button. I need about you can see BOQ quantity or BOM spare parts. Of course this is not given in Primavera P6, right? Or I can have anything BOM spare parts, and this is over here. And now what kind of data it should display when I'm going to add: cost, finish date, indicator, integer, number, start date, text, something like that. Anything you can see, right? And here I can add one more thing, right? Like if I can click add risk priority, right? If I need to show some activities, the priority of risk, so I can share indicator, right? So what kind of indicator? If I'm going to add those activities, I will be showing you that as well. This is very phenomenal thing. Risk, where it is. This is important to make you understand. See this one. I can make like this one in just in front of the activity name, apply, and now this one over here, indicator. So see, this is alarming. Okay, something like that. Priority. I should see, I should make sure that what kind of, this is something, this is showing. You can also risk, you can make something like into user defined. If I can just get inside this user define, because most of the times, apart from indicators, you can show your priority by number 1 2 3 4, which I have already shared with you, that risk priority, right? Within one day you require that work to be done on emergency basis. When you are going to fully prepare your plant, maintenance is there, shut, everything is mix and match. At that time this feature is going to help you a lot. So within this one you can see that number, right? So yes, we can't do like this because it is already assigned over here. So that is why, but you can allocate number 1 2 3 4, something like that as well. So I want to remove it, apply, okay, that's fine. You understand what does mean by user define? And then the next one is bars. So over here bars means that these bars, right? So we can change timeline, time scale, the simple way. I want change it to the, you can see week of the year, apply, from quarterly basis to monthly basis. See, somehow like this one. And again I will click on this bars area, and you can find different kind of bars. You can see that we have remaining level of effort, baseline, actual work, remaining work, critical. So majorly our activities will be segregated into milestones, task dependent, resource dependent, primary, baseline, and something like that, critical activities, non-critical activities, okay, and their respective time scale, and all those things are mentioned. And there you can see you can change the color line, something like from here, right? It's very easy and understandable. Apply, and that is how you can customize your bars as well, right? And from here I will be helping you to understand time scale is already done over here. So group and sort by, this is something very important to understand, which I'm going to share with you. The group and sort by is already given, all these information is given in the view option, your time scale, your columns, your bars. This time your group and sort by, your group and sort by is something like this one, okay. You can change your WBS color, something like this one from here. Okay, I need this to be changed into red color. Okay, apply, and this is going to happen, right? That is for just the understanding. If I just want to make something like this one, apply, so every WBS will be at the same level. Indent means hierarchy, branches. If I want make my levels to be shown in my Primavera P6 dashboard, I need to click on this indent. And there is one more important information. If I want to change something, like I want to disappear WBS, first of all, I need to get back to the same original, okay, none, and apply. Okay, it is showing you plain scope of work. This is called your plain, no WBS involved there. And if you want to change anything over here, something like get back to the WBS category, WBS name, apply, it will show you something like that. But we need to get back on WBS level 1 and something like that. If I want make it disappear, apply, you can have all the group totals. Every information against WBS is disappeared. So again, group and sort by, I need to make sure group totals. And here, if I make checkbox these options, apply, you can see that how it happens. Every WBS code title is over there. And if I make it more complex, something like that, and it will not show any name but only WBS. So this is very wonderful feature of Primavera P6. Somehow it is going to help you a lot. So I need to make something like that. So that is how you can utilize your group and sort by. And now I'm going to share with you the dependency model on which our complete shutdown, turnaround, our project funding requirement, our resource availability is actually depending on. So that is called activity relationships. Through this concept, we will be understanding that how it is important, as well as how industry oriented work will be given sequence. So inside schedule management there are different kind of processes, define activities, and I will be sharing the complete process or PMP oriented, that how this will be organized. Under scope management, you will be defined complete project WBS. Under schedule management, you will be defining your complete activities. Then Same under schedule management, you will be, after defining your activities, you will be defining their sequence, right? Sequence of activities, that how they will be sequence, dependency model. Okay. Then after the sequencing, you are going to estimate their durations, and then you are supposed to create your develop schedule like CPM, right? So this sequence is very important, either you are working in EPC industry or you are working in shutdown industry. So I hope it will be understandable. Scope management, this is schedule management. Under schedule management, this is define activities process, this is sequence of activities, this is duration estimate, and develop schedule. So, activity relationships. I will be sharing Primavera P6 dashboard, and now this is the time we need to understand that all the tasks written over here, review and finalize scope, obtain PTW, resource approval, cost approval, risk assessment. Every next task is actually depending on the previous task. You can see over here, scaffolding will be done, then removal of covers, right? Removal of covers or heads can't be done until unless scaffolding erection is done, right? Removal of covers is done, then tube bundle extraction will be started. It's understandable. So that's what I mean, we need to make sequence of these activities on the basis of their maintenance priority, which task need to be done earlier, and then what would be the next task. We need to maintain that mandatory logic or sequence. There are four kind of dependencies in our project schedules. One is called mandatory, in which we can't avoid technical limitations. Mandatory means like here you can see the example. This is mandatory. Like if scaffolding is going to finish, then and only then we are going to start removal of covers. That is mandatory dependency. Then resource approval and cost approval, we can start at the same time, or we can start one document and we can start next document after approval of resources, right? So this is called discretionary logic or preference based. When we have two tasks and we are going to take our preference on the basis of resource availability. Then there is internal dependency, like from inside of our company or plant, which factor is going to impact on our project schedule. External dependency, what kind of factor which is not part of our plant shutdown, but we are depending on that factor which is outside of the company, like procurement, third parties, suppliers, vendors, regulatory authority, any standard which is going to impact on our project or schedule management, right? So these are four dependencies. Apart from it, we need to understand activity types. Like in this specific situation, you can see scaffolding and what is the relationship between the, you can see removal of covers. These two activities I will take an example, right? So one is depending, removal of covers is totally depending on scaffolding. So in this situation, we need to assign them. One is predecessor, whereas other one is successor. Let me share with you slide and it will be more easy to understand for you people. So here we are, and you can see there is finish to start relationship. In our this specific example, scaffolding will be finished, then only removal of covers or heads is going to start. So in this example, you can see that there are three kind of relationships. Start to start, both activities can be started at the same time. Both activities are going to be finished at the same time. In our project schedule development, there are many situations we need to assign such kind of relationships. For example, if welding is going to finish, only in that situation we can start NDT testing. So such kind of activities will be given relationship finish to start. Start to start relationship, as soon as our maintenance is going to start, our compressor or pneumatic supply is going to start. So this is going to be mandatory start to start relationship. And then finish to finish relationship, our rebar work, our steel work is going to finish, and then our embedded items installation need to be finished at the same time. These are only examples. You can take a look around your work and you can identify different kind of activities which is having same pattern: finish to start, start to start, and finish to finish, and write in the video comment area about these relationships. So what is the probability whenever we are working on our scheduling? work, we are going to give 80 to 85% finish to start relationships, and 10 to 15% mix and match of start to start and finish to finish relationships. So these are the things we are going to follow. So now I'm going to share with you Primavera P6 dashboard, and the very important feature over here I'm going to introduce with you people. But before that, I should make it blue color because that is eye friendly, because I'm used to um, work on Primavera P6 since last 15 years. So blue color is on the top. This is now eye smoothing, right? So now there is one important feature. If I can right click over here, I can switch activity details. You can see this is activity detail. Activity detail is the golden feature of Primavera P6. It will be open up, you can have an under enterprises. I have already shared. This is project window. Under project, you can see this is WBS window. Everything have its own details, right? WBS have its own details. Project have its own details, whereas activities have its own details: journal, status, resources, relationships, notebook, summary, risk, code, predecessor, expenses, successor, right? So here I'm going to share with you this activity detail, right? So you can hide it, you can customize it. The same thing which we have learned into when we were discussing about columns, you can see over here. If I don't need expenses, I can move like this. If I don't need risk, I can move something like that, and I can apply, and you can see the things are settled as per my priority. I need WBS and documents, I can move over here at the last side, and you can see over here I need to make successor this side, predecessor this side, apply, and it's done. Okay. So that is the feature of activity detail. Every activity has its own activity detail. You can see that this area is going to change continuously when I'm going to scrolling down, something like that. So right now I'm here to make my relationship. So this relationship, the predecessor on one side, whereas successor on the other side. But here, if I will share with you who is predecessor and who is successor, every activity which is actually depending, NDT can't be done until welding will be finished. You understand? So testing is depending on welding. So testing is successor activity, whereas welding is predecessor activity. In this situation, both activities are going to start at the same time, but compressor is successor activity, because maybe if these activities are scheduled at the time of 10th of January, both activities are going to follow 10th of January. But somehow, if maintenance is going to delay and going to be started 12th of January, now this activity have to follow the same pattern, because this activity is actually following the starting status of maintenance. So this is dependent. So this is successor activity. This is starting actually following the finishing status of uh, predecessor activity. This is actually depending on the rebar work, right? So this is successor activity. Successor activity is usually where arrow is pointing out its head, and tail of arrow is connecting with predecessor activity. That is a usual perception and pattern you can identify easily when you are going to see your bar chart area. You understand? The second most important point: successor activity is always depending on the predecessor activity status. If finish to start relationship, this is predecessor status, this is predecessor status, this is predecessor status. You understand? So that is very important to understand which activity is predecessor and which activity is successor. Okay. And from here I will be sharing that how to do these things. Now I am on the top activity: review and finalize scope. Here I have predecessor. I will be highlighting over here. This is predecessor, this is successor. Here that activity will be added, which will be depending on this activity: review and finalize scope. We don't have any activity because this is the first activity, so there is no predecessor. This button means assign. If I'm going to click on this button, I will be given a small same activity window. So which activity is actually depending? As long as it concerns with our planning and scheduling experience, we are going to take such kind of notes from the higher management teams, and we are going to see that how to make these relationships, right? So review and finalize scope. After this, we are going to assign obtain PTW. So I'm going to click on this and add, and you can see it will happen, right? So see relationship over here. I will move a step ahead and I will click on this one. This activity is already having, actually you are assigning this activity successor PTW, or you are assigning PTW. This is mutual relationship. PTW is successor of review and review is predecessor of PTW. If I'm going to click on PTW, you can see that predecessor is already there. Now I need only to assign successor. I will make resource approval, then as long as it is in the sequence and something like that. You can see these dates are concluded over here. 19th of April, 19th of April, 21st April, 21st April, and it's going to finish and it's going to start. And hours are represented in respective way. You can see the sequence will be maintained over here as well. You understand? So that is the beauty of Primavera P6. Now, I will be sharing with you one more example that over here, all these columns need to be understood in very effective way. This is finish to start relationship. If somehow my both these resource approval and cost approval are going to be at the same time, so I will make this one start to start. You can see simultaneously it will change the bar chart pattern over here. 19th April start date, 19th April, at the same time they will be executed. So that is how you are going to change. So that is how you are going to make relationships between different kind of activities. You can see that these already linked with each other. Every work package is linked with each other the same way. You can also make quick relationships if you want to make first activity and shift, keep pressing shift button on keyboard, make right click and link activities like this one. All activities will be linked together. So this is actually how to link activities. The first step is to link up your activities within one work package or one WBS. After that, you are going to open your WBS and you are going to take senior management instructions that my documentation, my HSE, my procurement register, my plan, how these WBS are interlinked with each other. Let's say I'm going to share with you activities window. If my cost approval is done, then my this HSE should be started, or I can start this documentation, this HSE, this procurement register, this plant isolation at the same time. So what I need to do? I have to make multiple relationship, review and initialize, finalize scope and risk assessment at the same time, right? I can make relationships between them, right? So documentation is done. First, I should go by this execution. Scaffolding is done. All these activities are cleaning shell side and tube side. If this activity is done, only then I can start the next work package, first activity. So I need to interlink these two activities. So this activity will be checked. Activity detail window is open. I can go into assign and I can make something like this. Okay. So see, these activities are interlinked. Croyan mapping. After that, because I have already made my relationship WBS sequence in very uh, professional way. Repair and replacement, when talking is done, then reassembly will be started. So I will be over here, reinstallation done. Then I can make this one. This is if you are working on a complex project and your WBS is not somewhere next to the current WBS, you can also make 12A1270. You can write here. It's sometime we are working on a complex project, so that is going to filter out that activity. See, relationships are going to be done, and then this should be, because after this your hydro test is already linked, then final sign off, and after that your this restart of process flow, and that is how after this your this relationship as built drawings, and then after this update maintenance OPA lesson learn, you are going to start cost and schedule documentation. So that is how you are going to make it like this way, right? That is what I uh, try to share with you the concept how to link up your activities. Now, the second most important thing, once you are done with your relationships, next thing is activity duration. So now I'm going to share with you, after link up of your activities with each other, now the second important task is to assign duration, which you can see right now on my window, that already I have given 120 hours, 16 hours, 32 hours, 32 hours. So what is the logic behind it? Manually I can make it something like 150 some. How we can justify it? Because when we are going to submit this schedule for approval, they are going to ask for the logic behind it, back end working, that how you are going to say that, or how you can estimate this timeline required to complete that certain activity. So this is called bottom to top estimation. We are going to estimate that how much time it will require scaffolding to do, right, for that certain task, how much time it will require to complete that removal of cover heads, how much time it will require to complete extraction of tube bundles, right? So this time requirement will be depending on certain factors, which I'm going to share with you people right now. Activity durations, this is also part of schedule management, the fourth the process group of schedule management. Here, wrench time for schedulers in shutdown management and turnaround management. The actual hands on time a maintenance technician or craftsperson spends actively working on a task, literally with a wrench in hand. Usually, I will help you to understand this term. And the persons which are working on shutdown usually are maintenance people. They are using a wrench most of the times to open the bolts, to close the bolts, and all that. So by this terminology, they are going to convey the idea, the people who are going to work on that specific maintenance task. It's not obvious that all the time we are going to allocate a shift like 10 hours shift, they are going to work continuously 10 hours on that task. They might be going out for washroom, for dinner, for breakfast, or for any intermittent break. So that is not included in wrench time. Wrench time is pure time which they are going to spend on overhauling of that valve, holding that wrench, and spending time on that maintenance. So that is called wrench time. This is very important if you are going to become a shutdown scheduler. Why it matters? Efficiency indicator, a higher wrench time percentage means more effective use of labor resources, cost control. If you can reduce idle time, you are standby, you are not doing anything, right? So that is called idle time. Waiting for parts, permits, or instructions, you increase wrench time and reduce labor cost. These terminologies like idle time, wrench time, downtime, impact on your project duration calculation, these are going to be one of the favorite questions being asked in job interviews. So, shutdown planning during a plant shutdown or turnaround, improving wrench time is crucial because you have limited window to complete critical tasks. Estimating productivity in turnaround or shutdown. Observe current and previous data. Of course, OPA, the same, this shutdown will serve as a OPA lesson learned for the next hour shutdown. The same, the previous shutdown will be serving as lesson learned for this current, present, ongoing shutdown, right? So task completed versus plan, man hour spent versus estimated from our previous shutdown or turnaround are going to serve as lesson learned to calculate our wrench time. Identify influencers. Productivity is shaped by factors like tools availability, material supply, work sequence, crew skill level, and workplace congestion. Minimize delays, okay, and set a realistic baseline. If historically your cruised range time is around 45 to 50%, then you have allocated them 10 hours a day shift, they are going to produce productivity of 5 hours, right? That what means by wrench time. So wrench time is a direct indicator of labor efficiency, right? The way I have explained just now. Productivity factor, formula example, productivity factor is actually effective work hours divided by total hours. And effective hours are calculated total hours multiply range time percent, right? So that is how you are going to calculate that if I'm going to allocate total hours, how much productivity I can get out of this one in effective way. Calculating duration using productivity, it is very simple way. If you have a total of 1000 man hours of work to complete during the turnaround, determine crew size and shifts. Suppose you have a crew of 10 technicians, each working an 8 hours shift daily. Estimate productivity factor. From past data, your range time is around 50%, so your productivity factor is 0.5. That means each person is going to work effectively working 4 hours per shift if they are going to allocate 8 hours on a shift. Calculate daily output. Each person contribute 4 effective hours per day. For 10 people, the total effective hours are 40. And to meet that 1000 total man hours, you can calculate if you need 1000 man hours total of actual work, you have 40 effective hours per day. Now you can multiply, you can get like in 50 days to be done this one, right? So that is how I'm going to share with you right now Primavera P6 dashboard, and I have allocated all of these 150 hours, 16 hours, 32 hours. This is actually your project total man hours required to complete that certain task. You understand? And usually your benchmarking the previous data is going to play a very important role, and you can make a productivity goal as well that I am going to deal with specific gate valve maintenance. So there are benchmarking going to help you that gate valve is going to open that nut and bolt. It will require maybe 30 minutes or point half an hour, like you can say 1 hour. Okay, it will require 1 hour to open that gate valve, and now the redressing of that gate valve is going to require maybe 4 more hours. Of course, you are going to take all the spare parts. You can take that inner spare parts of that gate valve out of that valves. Okay, you need to refinish refurnish it. You need to take gaskets out of that valve, you need to replace them, you need to analyze them, right? So maybe it will take 4 hours, and then you are closing and it will take maybe 30 minutes. So that is already like 1 hour to redress and reinstall it. And then you are going to make some hydro testing, pressure testing. It is required like 1 more hour. So total that valve, that certain size, maybe 3-inch line gate valve, right? So it is going to take 7 hours if there are two technicians are going to work on that one. Two technicians, right? Two technicians are going to work on that, one skilled labor and one is non-skilled labor, right? So two technicians are going to work on that certain one gate valve or globe valve, whatever valve type is, doesn't matter. Right now I'm just conveying an idea that how to calculate that productivity which company is going to provide you. So that is going to take 7 hours. Now you are going to make like 30 valves in such kind of shutdown. You need to redress, you need to repair. So it is going to take 2 10 hours, right? But you can make fast tracking as well, schedule compression technique as well. There is crashing and there is fast tracking. These valves are on different pipelines. So you can hire more technicians, right? At the same time, you can start their redressing, opening, overhauling, redressing, replacement, and then installation again. So you can save your time, right? I will give you an example how to do this one. If you're all these 30 valves, you are thinking right now that all these 30 valves like this one, right? One valve, two, three, four, five, and so on. But if you are going to deploy not only two technicians on working on this at the same time, working on this one at the same time, working on this one at the same time, two technicians on working, and you need to buy more resources like this. Okay, so same time they are going to take like week 9. This is only 7 hours job, right? So that is how you can save your time. This is schedule compression technique which is called fast tracking. So now you understand that how productivity will be calculated, and I have already allocated over here. So after you are going to assign your duration, like over here, I'm going to make relationships like these some things yet to be over here. One thing, risk assessment. Okay. And then emergency response to should be over here. Okay. And after that, I need to make sure that reschedule under this one options, and you should make sure that this should be retained logic, because retained logic means whatever relationships you have given, like finish to start, start to start, finish to finish, they will be maintained during your scheduling and tracking. Progress override means if your relationships are not, as per tracking, they are not required anymore, you can change at any time. Actual dates, you are not going to give persistence to your aligned or assigned relationships. So actually whatever you are going to incorporate your data, that will be loaded. So in our situation, we need a dynamic critical path method to be there, so we need to opt this retain logic. These two options should be allocated. Level resources is also required one, but once we are going to understand that option, you can checkbox it and that's fine. Each project total flow less than zero. Okay, and then it's done. Okay, yes, and schedule it. But it is not showing any red color activities. Why? You know why? Because I have done one thing over here. Now I will look back into my shutdown. This is being done before that contractual finish milestone. How I can find that one? You can see that project turnaround 56. I can go into the project window. Here is turnaround 56. You can see this one, and this is my project finished by. If I can go into the activities window, my this time project is going to be closed on 6th of May, right? So I have defined that my project should be closed by or finished by 25th of May. This was my earlier assignment, but somehow there is something to understand. So it is not showing any critical path method. That is why I usually recommend people don't put any finish date, that is reverse path. So if I get back to 6th of May, you can see over here there is critical red color activities as well. Now this path is showing something and we have missed that one as well. I get back here again. I will make 25th of April, May. I realized my mistake. What was the mistake? Because this is not done yet. This relationship is not connected one, right? So I need to make scaffolding with this one, and then I need to make mobilization with plant isolation, because all the plant is not connected. See, now it is meeting 25th of May or beyond. See, 30th May, right? I need to compress my schedule. Why? Because my requirement is 25th of May. It is going beyond. Any date which is going beyond that 25th of May will be declared as critical path. So I need to reverse my few days so that I can find 25th of May over here. So that is something crashing technique can come over here. I can make some fast tracking. I can make relationship like start to start. So this can save some days. I can make start to start. It's already start to start. I can make this activity rather to link emergency response and material ordering at the same time. I will remove this one and I will align this one with the start activity of risk assessment to be started at the same time. See, because this is called and somehow like, okay, emergency response. And yes, okay, I'm see on critical path method, you can see I have saved 3 days. Now I can make crashing as well. Crashing means if I can add more resources. This scaffolding was done with 4 people. Now I am going to add 8 people for this. So 8 people are, if I'm going to enhance the effort, duration will come down. How it is possible? I will be making you sure about it, that I will assign resources, then you will understand that one. But somehow theoretically, I will make it 16, and you can see, okay. And here you can see that 27, because 16 is not enough. I need make over here 60 hours. Then see, it is going to make 24th of May. One day behind that constraint, everything is done. non-critical. So I will make it 80, and you can see now this is 25. So this is somehow we are going to check different kind of things to meet that completion date, that is reverse path, when you are going to assign that finish date. So that is the difference between critical path method and longest path. So our next lesson is resources. Resources is my favorite topic, and for that reason you have to come on this resources window. You can click on this enterprises, click on this resources. All this option will be over here. So in my specific case, what I need to do, resources mean all the manpower, material and machinery. Primavera P6 is carrying all the project resources. You have multiple files, multiple project within one Primavera P6. So here I'm going to add, there are my turnaround 56 resources. Okay, and I will add manpower. Simple things you have to do. I will add equipment or machinery. I will add material or spare parts. Same, I will share with you material or spares. Okay, so if you want to learn this skill, because there are many other things you need to learn, like spare parts tracking, how to plan procurement, how to make your manpower procurement. So in my full video, like in my full course training session, which is based on 20 hours or more than that, you can learn a lot of those concepts as per real industry practices. But here I'm just giving you an overview that how schedule management should be understood in one sitting, and how to take this data on the higher level from your Excel sheets, from your Word, from your PPT slides into Primavera P6 to start this job career, to understand that it is a kind of very productive and career is very growing one. A lot of jobs in Gulf region, rotational jobs, oil and gas field, refinery, plant shutdown kind of jobs over there for engineers. And this is most of the biggest advantage, that engineers are skilled engineering job career, right? So now I need the same thing: resource ID, resource name, resource type. I need to change resource type. This should be material, yes. This should be machinery, non-labor, and manpower should be. So I can just make it over here skilled labor. Okay, skilled labor, and under manpower non-skilled labor. Okay, I'm not getting into more details like welder. You can do that one as well. Non-skilled labor under machinery, heavy machinery. I am not getting into cranes, heavy machinery, and light machinery. Right? Just giving two trades. You can make 10 inputs over here: material, spare parts, gaskets, fittings. You can see that M1. I'm just, you can name anything, M2, M3, whatever kind of things at the back end you can find. Okay, something like that. Once it's added, you can go into the activities window. One by one you are going to assign, like material ordering. From here you are going to scaffolding. Okay, so inside the resources window you can click add resources, and you need to make skilled labor, and you need, and this one heavy machinery and light machinery, something like, just to understand fewer resources are enough. Add resources, and before that you need to make sure there, you can see that costing as well. So my non-skilled labor is charging $10 per hour, and my skilled labor is charging $20 per hour. My heavy machinery is charging $50 per hour. Light machinery is charging $20 per hour. M1 is specific category is $100 per hour. M2 is another category is like $50 per hour, in that range, right? So I have just costed it, right? So unit of measure in which category, like numbers each, and this is only for the material resources, or you can see here whatever the numbers in, you can see that into your BOM you should get set something like that, how many packages or sets are there for the material. So once it's done, you can go into the activities and you can see that, okay, scaffolding, there is no cost over here. So what I need to do, I have to go into the tools, recalculate assignment cost, recalculate, and you can see as per the cost is erupted over here. I can get into user preferences, currency. I can show currency over here, close, and you can see now you can see currency over here, right? So still I need to rectify over here different kind of things like this is very important to understand. Budgeted units like daily, this guy is going to work for, let's say, 12 hours, right? This guy is going to work for light machinery 12 hours. This guy is going to work for, this is one way. These are 100 hours non-skilled labor, like maybe there are 10 people, everyone is working for 10 hours, so that is how it is going to make 100 hours. And this skilled labor is going to make for, you can say, uh, I need only 50, like 5 people or only one guy like supervisor or like the main skilled guy, 10 hours per day. So over the period it's going to make like 16 hours, 10, like, yeah, yes, you are right. This you need to be understand, right? So uh, in this specific situation it is not correct. I will make sure about it. But yes, it should be one. Yes, one. Why? Because that was the concept of EPC industry. It should be like this one. Why? Because they are working only total 16 hours. So one in 1 hour they are working for 1 hour. Because if I'm going to convert it into duration, then it will be, this equation will be valid. So keep it as it is. Another thing which we need to make sure about it is our you can see that under resources there is one very important thing is shift calendars. So we can assign our respective resources, like which shift they are going to work on, right? So this is going to help us a lot. But before that I need to make sure that where we can customize it. Under enterprises you can find resource shifts, you can add, and there is a turnaround shift 56. Okay, I can modify, I can add my shifts, like 3 shifts, like one is total hours start, this is going to start like next 8. See, that is how you can make. Next shift is going to define, every shift should be like, if it is going to start 12 a.m. in the night, the second shift should be starting 12 p.m. Something, yes, 8. Okay, that is how you can make it, right? Equal hours, like this 12, 6, 6, 24 total. So you can make it like this way, equal, like 8 hours should be here. So here you can make, okay, but it is, I'm really confused over here because continuous sitting and delivering this one. So I think you can make it like 8, 6, calculating the equal divisions, right? That's what you need to do. So just close it, it's done. And what you need to do, you have to assign that specific resource a certain shift. Like this is my non-skilled labor, I can assign here this one. You understand? Turn around, shift 1, shift 2, or shift 3. See, my skilled labor, turn around, this one, then see, external rate, something like that. So this is going to define which timeline, within which window this resource will be available during shutdown. It is very important feature. You understand? So that is one thing. And the second most important thing, during our Primavera P6 we have here details. You can see that our task, all these activities are task dependent, right? If I'm going to add one column over here, there is one more thing you can understand into durations. And you can see over here, just one time I will select all of my activities from here. By the way, it is going to be very quick. I will make sure assign and resources. Over here I can scaled, non-scaled, m, and then m1, something like that. So I have, one time I have assigned each and everything. And later on what you can do, you can just make sure that these hours are okay as per your duration, everything is done. You have to go for the manual assignment the way I have done earlier. I'm just making it a quick way. through, right? So we have done everything. Cost is there, everything is there, right? So now if anything cost is missing, I should go and make recalculate. Okay, that's done. Okay, somewhere this non-skilled labor or skilled labor is not costed, so I need to see one more time. Okay, 632 and 631, I can go into the resources. 632 into the journal, codes, details, unit and prices. This is $10, huh? But I think, okay, maybe, okay, I can make here $15 and skilled labor $20. Okay, activities. Okay, why it's not showing 1 hour per hour, 8 hours, right? Just let me see. Anyhow, it will be showing somehow, but over here I'm just trying to show you that some resources can be managed like this way. You can see over here into the details, all of these activities are task dependent. If I can add some column from journal like calendar, all these activities dates are concluded through this calendar, stu calendar. These are following these calendar. The activities which are following the global calendar are called task dependent. But there are certain situations in maintenance field that there are certain, you can see that this tube extraction, and if I can remove all of these resources and I can just assign one certain resource, yes and no, and add resource, anything, something like that, excavator, somehow, and I just make 618 that this resource is not available 24 by 7. It will be available on certain days. So I go into the resources window. Where is 618? This one. I can make create personal calendar. So now this personal calendar have been developed. So I can go and I can make work week pattern. This is not available on Wednesday. This is not available on Thursday. This is not available on Friday, but this is available on Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. I can make it okay. Close. And now this activity will be scheduled as per the required time, right? This will be scheduled. This is resource dependent activity. That resource is not available 24 by 7. That is only available 3 days per week, right? So this activity is going to change its, the next thing I need to change it into the resource dependent. Resource is already allocated, right? And I just make it schedule, and you can see that now this activity is going to take a lot of extra time, but it is only 17 hours. So 4th May to 5th May, I can see right now into the calendar options, enterprise calendar, and r1's, where is that one, excavator, here, this one, right? So excavator calendar, 1 minute, this one, okay. I can modify this, my March, May 4 to May 4 is already. If I can make anyhow non-work and non-work, what will happen? See, this is not 6 May. This is not going to take that 4 May or 5. That is how it's going to change, right? You understand? This 17 hours are automatically going to be changed. So that is how you are going to close your resource allocations and all that. You understand now? This is again going on 30 May due to our some kind of interventions during scheduling and all that. This is our critical path method. So, what is critical path method? Critical path method is actually when you are going to assign relationships, when you are going to allocate durations, relationships, durations, and resource availability is going to develop your project critical path method. Critical path method is your project longest path strategy, which is going to take shortest time to complete that work within that contractual milestone. So in our project schedule right now, red color activities are representing critical path method. And if I can get into the view and I can make open layout, no, and I can open critical path method layout, and you can see that there is critical path matters something like there is negative float as well. The activities which are crossing that completion 25th of May are showing minus 39. Activities are showing positive float as well. So activities early start early finish, late start, late finish. That is actually the structure of critical path method. Critical path method is actually going to show the two flexibilities. The activity can be started earlier and we can delay that activity as well. And the flexibility between two these dates, earliest and late dates, is going to be defined as total float. And total float is the amount of time an activity can be delayed without delaying project contractual completion date, right? And negative float right now is there. You can see minus 39 hours. This is negative float, actually crossing that completion date, right? So in my full training, I will be, you know, detailed about these things in very conceptual way, in very more explained way, right? So you should must be part of my training session as well. So that is critical path method. So at the end of this plant shutdown Primavera P6 application turnaround management skill set, I would help you people to understand this was the planning phase. After this, our execution phase will be started. Our meetings, our data collection from the site area, from our plant, will be collected on the basis of daily progress reports. Our weekly progress reports will be compiled. Now we have to learn about how to track our this plan, this shutdown plan, this turnaround plan. Our site people, our plant oriented maintenance people, they are going to document each and everything. They are going to provide us that data. We are going to use, as a planning engineer, as a scheduler, we are going to use that data, and we are going to update Primavera P6 to produce our daily progress reports, monthly progress reports, and weekly progress reports. In this reporting system, earned value management is going to play a key and vital role. So as a planner and scheduler, it is very important for all of you people to understand earned value management system, which is going to provide us that how our scheduling strategy, which was done in our planning phase, which we have just completed now. So earned value management is going to help us that to evaluate our project status with respect to time, with respect to cost, and to find out resource productivity, to find out wrench time evaluation. So this is going to be very amazing session, right? If you are going to take this video, you have learned about this video. Planning is all over there, but if you are going to understand this in comprehensive way, there are many things to come in my detailed plan. Now I'm going to summarize this complete skill set based training, that this was only a demo, this was only an overview, that how project planning and scheduling will be conducted. But in my comprehensive training, in which I'm going to give you a detailed understanding of processes, how identification of work will be done, how scheduling, planning, execution, closing, review, and among those process groups, you are going to understand different kind of processes, different kind of templates, different kind of procedures, documentations. That is very important. In my comprehensive training, which is actually available self-paced as well as live session as well, 20 hours based training is going to enable you that you can implement that complete procedure as an independent planner and scheduler, and you can apply for upcoming jobs in Gulf regions like fertilizers companies, refineries, textile mills, and any production units where companies are looking forward for plant shutdown or turnaround scheduler and planner. This is golden opportunity for all of you people. And at the end, I would like to invite you people to write in the comment area about plant shutdown management using Primavera P6, so that anybody who's going to write this comment inside this video, my team is going to approach you and share with you a very important link, which is going to carry some XZR files and plant shutdown documentation, which is going to benefit you as well. So at the end, again, I would request you people to subscribe this channel, so in future, if I make any video, you can get that link on time. So see you in my next video.